Well, let's go down to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, where our Deputy Political Editor, Craig McCulloch, is. We're expecting Judith not to be too far away. What's going on down there, Craig?
Hi, Lisa. Yes, we understand that Judith Collins is heading our way, but we don't have an ETA. We do not know how far away she will be. I'm in the room, and amongst the people, the numbers have gathered, increased slightly over the last little while. We're probably talking 200, slightly more than that, people here as we talk. Some more MPs have arrived. We're talking Chris Kink and also Kanwal Bakshi, also here now, but still very small numbers of MPs here in support of Judith Collins. We're waiting to see when she arrives. Like I said, not here yet, but we wait with anticipation.
How would you describe the mood down there? Because they'll all be watching these numbers come in.
It is glum, it is despondent. People are trying to put on a brave face about it. They are matter of fact. There was an expectation, like I said earlier, they did not think they were going to win, but they also weren't thinking that the result would be this bad. We tried to go out and have a chat with party supporters earlier, just wandering around, putting a mic in front of people's faces and asking how they were feeling. They were not having a bar, but most people wouldn't even entertain the idea of having a chat with us. So that gives you a sense of the feeling here, one of frustration, some sort of disbelief from some that the numbers could be this staggering.
And we've just been talking here about the party president, Peter Goodfellow. Any opportunity to talk to him? I mean, what's he making of all of this unfolding on his watch?
I have had a chat to Peter Goodfellow earlier, the party president, of course. He is pointing very clearly to COVID-19 as a reason for this result. That's not surprising. That's a line that we've been hearing out of a lot of National Party people today, that the reason for this result is due to COVID-19 changing the landscape dramatically. What he was telling me, he said that, look, number around us, you can still operate well in opposition, and that Judith Collins, he believes, could still remain as leader on a result. He did not think that that necessarily meant there needed to be a change at the top. However, it's not clear whether other MPs in the caucus feel that way. I suspect from having feelers out and talking to MPs earlier that there are definitely going to be a different sense of feeling. Some of the people are very frustrated at her performance. A number like this, like I said earlier in the program, I recall was disaster territory below 30. This is quite a way below 30, and Judith Collins will be reeling. Members of the party will be reeling. They'll be looking at this and thinking somebody needs to be held responsible. It could be a matter of days before another party, another MP makes their move. Could be someone like Mark Mitchell, for example. He's run against Judith Collins in the past, put his hand up when the caucus elected Judith Collins. Mark Mitchell could potentially challenge Judith Collins on a result like this. There are other names that have been floating around. Simon Bridges, he said that he wouldn't put his name in the ring, but who knows? In the past he said that, but things change, and a result like this is definitely a game changer for people. Chris Luxon's another name. He hasn't been spotted here tonight. Former Air New Zealand chief executive, running in that botany electorate. We have not spotted him. He may be one of the few MPs with a smile on his face, depending on the result in that electorate. But I would be surprised if he was a name in the contention. He's been talked about a lot as a potential future leader, but he's coming in fresh. He's wet behind the ears. He barely knows his way around Parliament yet. I'd expect that he'd want to spend a few years. I understand that he's been receiving advice from some people around how to conduct himself, maybe, and the advice has been keep his head down, don't make any leadership moves just yet. Anyway, the fact that we're talking about all this shows the dilemma, the real trouble that National finds itself in at this stage in the game. This is not where National wanted to be.
Well, I suppose the thing is, Craig, it could be an entirely different National Party that's sitting down next week, a very much changed group of MPs who will be pondering those questions about the leadership, which could in turn, mean that the results in thinking is different.
That's exactly right. Look, Judith Collins has said before that she would not be standing down tonight, that she would.
So we're just losing you there. We're just losing you there, Craig. And in fact, I think I've got Mark Mitchell on the line. Mark, can you hear me?
You have, Lisa. Yep, I'm here.
Okay, what are you thinking of the results?
Oh, I mean, it's a very tough result for us, isn't it? And I think that at the moment I'm really feeling for that huge volunteer base that have been out there campaigning so hard for us over the last couple of months. It's been a long, tough campaign. And of course, we're all bitterly disappointed to see the results that are coming in tonight.
Whose fault is it?
Look, I don't want to apportion blame. I think that everyone's seen that it's been a tough sort of 12 months for us. I always felt, and I'm on the record as saying that I felt that replacing Simon was a bad decision. We needed to, we really need to guts it out and hold our shape. And of course, we've had a whole lot of other issues that we've had to deal with. So the important thing now is we get back down to Wellington on Tuesday. We're ready to get back on the tools. To have a strong democracy, you must have a strong opposition, and we've got to get back on the job straight away for the country.
Do you retain confidence in the current leader of the National Party, Judith Collins?
Yeah, look, I think that it's been tough. It would have been tough for anyone, and so I'm not laying any blame at Judith's feet, and any leadership decisions in the future for the caucus.
But you were clearly saying there that the turning point was getting rid of Simon Bridges, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't agree with that. I felt like a coup was going to destabilise us, and so I was always, I didn't agree with everything with Simon, and we had chats about that. But I didn't feel that a coup. It was always the thing was coming COVID. There was a huge change. Before then, our polls were showing that we were back in government. So I just felt very strongly that we just had to hold our shape and show some discipline around that. And I'm not laying all the blame at the feet of the coup, but certainly it didn't help stabilise us. That's for real.
So would you be interested in the leadership?
No, look, I'm not even thinking about or discussing that. I'm thinking about I'm part of a team, and it's still a good team and a strong team, and we have to get ourselves together and get ourselves organised on Tuesday. To start, we're still battling COVID. We've still got massive issues that a country to face, and we've got to get focused straight back on that.
You mentioned some other missteps. What were those, do you think?
Oh, no, I think that obviously we did things like, Hamish with the leak of, Kiwi's personal details didn't help. We sort of had that issue with Andrew that was completely unacceptable. We've just had sort of issues like that seem to have every time.
What about your leader coming out just days before the election and telling fat people it's their fault?
Look, I think I don't agree with that characterisation, but it's probably fair to say that it was a bit off message, and that was, this is the one thing that we have to do. Coming back together on Tuesday is we have to be disciplined and we have to be focused on what matters, and that is actually our people and our country and how we continue to respond to COVID. At some points we will support the government on things, at others we must hold them to account, and we've got to be good at doing that because a strong democracy requires a strong opposition.
Did Judith Collins get a fair crack from her own caucus?
Yeah, I think she did. There were some things, obviously, that we could have done without. There's no doubt about that. Everyone saw that. Everyone knew that. I don't think that those things necessarily shifted the polls that much for us. I just think that we're up against the fact that as a country, we've had to deal with COVID, and that's created a lot of uncertainty in people's lives and quite a bit of disruption. And so if people can... they don't want too much change, and so if there's things that they can maintain the same in their lives, they will do that. And I think that related to the election is they just didn't want to see change.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but would the result be different if you had gone to this election, do you think, with Simon Bridges as your leader?
No, with Simon, look, it's hard to say. I just think that we would have. I just think that we needed to have actually got through that, held our shape, and I think we could have had. Things might have been different, but it's hard to say. That's crystal ball stuff.
So your campaign manager, Jerry Brownlee, he could be gone too. A lot of your high-profile, long-serving MPs are on the way out.
Yeah, I think Elam is showing that it's another seat that's suffering the swing. But I think also the other thing is that Jerry, of course, has been our campaign manager, so he's had to have a focus on the whole country and get round the country.
Didn't run a very good campaign then, though, did he?
Oh, look, I think that our guys have done the best that they could in what was a very difficult situation.
So, when you look at this number as it sits now, 26.8% with about 65% of the vote returned, if you're utterly honest, how would you characterise that?
Oh, it's devastating for us, without a doubt, and I'm going to lose a lot of colleagues I'm very close to and have made a huge contribution. I feel for our volunteers because they have put in days and weeks of effort campaigning. They're passionate about our country and the direction it's going in. But we have a responsibility now to get back down to Wellington on Tuesday and get focused on our job, and that is continue to hold the government to account, which makes for a stronger parliament and a better democracy, and will go some way towards helping us continue to emerge out of this situation with COVID.
Was your party too cosy with ACT? Because they haven't suffered from the COVID kickback. In fact, they've done really well. So we're not clear about the relationship.
No, the relationship is strong. And I just think that David ran a very good campaign. In fact, the ACT party and their volunteers ran a good campaign as well, and they deserve the result. The result reflects that.
I've got to ask you one more time. Are you seriously got no leadership aspirations after this number, which some people would argue is a bloodbath?
No, and I'm not even thinking about that. It would be absolutely class.
Oh, come on.
That. No, look, at the moment, I'm thinking about the colleagues that are going to have to turn up on Tuesday and are leaving Parliament, our volunteer base, and us just coming together as a caucus now and getting organised, because that's what the public expect us to be focused on them, not on ourselves, and it's going to be critically important that we all understand that come Tuesday moving forward.
Have you spoken to your leader in the last couple of hours?
No, I haven't, but
today at all?
No, I haven't spoken to her today, no.
Okay, appreciate your time this evening. That is Mark Mitchell, National Party MP.